Hi everyone, it's Kino here in Miami. I've had a request recently from some students who've joined the intensives that we lead here at Miami Life Center to review some of the discussions of the Yoga Sutras. If you're unfamiliar with the Yoga Sutras, they are the traditional philosophical foundation of the inner journey or the spiritual practice of yoga. They were comprised more than 2,000 years ago by Patanjali. Now, the Yoga Sutras are not a religious document, so you don't need to worry about having any religious dogma or anything like that. They just provide sort of a roadmap to what happens on the inside when, in your minds and in your emotions and in the inner body, really, when you do the practice of yoga. What's amazing about this philosophical text is that it was comprised more than 2,000 years ago, and it's still relevant to the everyday struggles of students practicing yoga today, like you and me. So the sutra that I'd like to draw your attention to today is one that's really important. It's the first sutra out of book 1, and in English it's now we can begin the practice of yoga, or now begins the practice of yoga. And in the traditional Sanskrit it's Atha Yoga Anushasanam, and Atha is the word for now. And the reason why I love this sutra so much is because the now is the field of yoga. Now is the presence that you take into the practice. In other words, now implies the present moment, the field of the now. And it's that the yoga practice is something that needs to be done in order for you to experience it. Not when you're talking about it, not when you're thinking about it or remembering it, but when you're actually doing it, when you're engaged in the activities of yoga, then it's happening. So it happens in the field of the present moment, when your mind is alive and awake and is happening now. And the second meaning that we can take from the word atha, or this concept of now that we're ready to begin yoga, is now that we're ready, we can finally begin. Now that we're ready to commit ourselves to the journey. Now that we, as students of yoga, have understood some of the most basic truths of life, and now that we're searching for the answers to the deeper questions about life, about why we suffer, why we search for happiness in every moment. Where can we find that happiness? How can we find the way out of suffering? Where can we find the tools to truly live a more peaceful life? When you begin to ask these questions in sincerity, and you mean it, and you're yearning for the answers, and you hunger for the answers, then you're ready to begin the practice of yoga. So now that we as students are finally ready, now the journey can begin. The other thing that's important to note about this sutra is that the yoga is something that has been alive in the human spirit as long as humanity has been here. It's an eternal journey it's an eternal quest, you could say, into the truth of the nature of being, into the truth of the nature of human consciousness. So this is the essence of the journey of humankind. So yoga, in essence, is eternal. It's not something that we can compartmentalize. It's not something that we can remove from this sincere spiritual search. Now that we're ready, we can finally begin. And it really takes commitment on the part of the student to really do the practice of yoga. So this is an important thing. I hope you're ready to begin the practice, and I hope you're inspired to practice every day. Thanks so much for watching.